Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Grow Your List in Constant Contact. If any of you are note takers, feel free to grab a pen and paper. If not, don't worry, you'll actually receive a recording of this webinar in your inbox later today so that you can follow along at your own pace. During today's webinar, we'll spend the first 25 minutes or so in presentation mode where I'll introduce today's concepts. Then I'll spend about 20 minutes in a live constant contact account walking you through the steps to accomplish what you've learned. And then I'll try to save about 10 to 15 minutes at the end for Q&A. Before we dive into our session today, I did want to let you know about all of the tools we have available to get your online marketing on track. We've got tools for creating great looking email marketing campaigns, easy to use email automation and welcome emails, list growth tools to help you grow your list, digital ads for Google, Facebook, and Instagram to help you find new customers and even build your email list, the ability to stay on top of your social media efforts. You can create posts and reply to social messages as well, SMS text marketing, which you can add to your plan in order to expand your marketing reach, our events platform that will allow you to promote and manage your events, and more. We've got all of these great tools, features, and our expert guidance you need to help you succeed all in one place. Now, let's go ahead and dive into today's session. Now, growing your email list is important because you're able to get the word out to more people to encourage them to buy from you. But why does it seem so hard to grow your list? For most businesses, it's simply because they don't put enough emphasis on asking and they don't use all of the tools available to them. That's why today we'll be discussing the strategies and tools you need to grow your list with Constant Contact. Let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda to see more specifically what we're going to cover today. We're going to start out by talking about why a permission-based list is important and how to get permission. Then we're going to talk about how to entice people to sign up. And lastly, we'll talk about how to use the sign-up tools in Constant Contact so that you have all of the information you need to grow your list after today. And here's a little introduction to myself. My name is Dominique. I'm a personal marketing advisor here with Constant Contact. I've been with the company for over 6 years, almost 7 years now, so I have a lot of experience with online and digital marketing. And I'm super excited to be here and present this to all of you today. Now, if any of you have questions throughout the webinar, feel free to use the Q&A option you see on the right side of your screen. You can type in your questions there and I can answer them throughout the webinar today. Now let's go ahead and get started with discussing how and why you need to build a permission-based list of contacts. So I'd like for everyone to think back to the last time that you received an email that you didn't sign up for from somebody that you just didn't recognize. Think about what your initial reaction was and what you did with that email. And you don't have to type a response, just take a moment to think about that. Now, most of us probably get a little worried and wonder how they got our email address. And then we just delete it, unsubscribe, or maybe even mark the email as spam. These are all very common reactions to getting emails that you didn't sign up for, and all the more reason to make sure you have permission when adding people to your business's email list. Getting permission from your email subscribers shows them respect for their privacy. When people give you their permission to join your email list, it's going to be more beneficial for both parties. They'll be helping to support your cause or your business, and you'll be providing information that keeps them engaged with you. Getting permission not only helps you build lasting relationships, it helps you to stay compliant with laws around the world, and it helps you to get subscribers who actually open and interact with your emails. So, what exactly does it mean to get permission? Let's go ahead and take a look. There are a variety of ways that people can give you permission, but the best way is for them to explicitly say yes to receiving emails from you. They may verbally request to receive your emails, check a box to sign up during the checkout or donation process, or take action to sign up through an online form. Regardless of how they sign up, they need to know that they're going to receive emails from your organization. Getting permission is important, and there's going to be a lot of different ways that you can do it and tools that will help you along the way. Let's talk about all of the ways you can get people to sign up and give you that permission. So now I'd like for everyone to think back to the last time that you signed up for an email list. Maybe it was for a nonprofit or a local business. Maybe you're in store making a purchase and they asked you, or you saw a link to sign up on their social media page. Please tell me in the Q&A tab, how did you all sign up and what was that process like for all of you? For me, the last time I signed up for an email list, it was a pop-up on a website offering a discount. So I signed up, they sent me a code, and I also made a purchase. So they got me to sign up and make a purchase with one pop-up on their site. And I see a couple of answers coming in here. I signed up for a free resource. That's awesome. That's a great lead magnet. Micah said they asked me for my email address at the register. They are pretty good about that everywhere you go nowadays, especially retail stores. Christian said pop up on their website just like you. Yep, pop-ups are really good. They always get you. Just said they started sending emails after I made a purchase. That happens too. See another pop-up on website. QR code at an event. That's a really good one. People always forget about that. More website signups. Looks like most people signed up on a website or in person. Awesome. Well, that is really good. So all of the ways that you just mentioned that you've all signed up for email lists are ways that you should be working to grow your own list. Now, ideally, you want to use a variety of methods to get people to sign up. So when you're thinking about the places you want people to sign up, think about these three categories: in person, online, and print. Now, you've already shared a few examples that fit into these categories, but I do want to make sure we're covering any that weren't mentioned. Now, for in-person interactions, it's really anywhere you're interacting with current and potential customers or supporters. Just encourage your staff to ask people if they want to receive your organization's emails. So you want to ask when you're accepting donations in person or they're making a purchase in your store, while you're helping a customer. And don't forget about at your events. Now, you could use a paper sign up form and add them into your account manually, or better yet, you can use an app on your phone or tablet to collect these email addresses. Most apps will sync the signups directly into your account. Plus, you won't have to worry about trying to read handwriting, which can be a little difficult. Also, when you use an app to let people subscribe, their permission is already documented for you. Constant Contact has an app with this functionality that you can use, and the app is called the List Builder app. It's a free app that you can find in both the Apple and Google Play app stores that you can download directly to your device. So again, anytime you or your staff interact with current and potential customers, be sure to ask them to sign up. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next bucket. And the next bucket is going to be the ways that you can grow your list online. Every place you're located online is a great opportunity to ask for signups and grow your list. Here are a few ideas for online places to use sign-up forms for list growth. First, of course, is your website. There are probably many ways that someone can find you online, and typically they only stay for maybe 15 seconds. So ideally, you want to use a pop-up form for your site that pops up at just the right time to catch their attention. Social media is really important as well. On all of your social media platforms, you can share a link to the lead generation landing page and posts, and even display them full time within your profile information. Now, many of you are likely using email outside of Constant Contact to answer questions about your products and services. So be sure to add a link to your lead generation landing page in your email signature. And make sure you're involving anyone on your staff who communicates via email with potential customers and supporters. Also, be sure to ask for signups during online sales or donations processes. You may have the option within whatever payment tool you use to collect this information. You can run lead ads for Facebook and Instagram from Constant Contact soliciting for new subscribers. You can even upload your current list so that Facebook can find lookalikes or people who look like your existing customers and subscribers. These are people whose demographics are similar to those on your list, so you can target just the right kind of people who would likely subscribe to your business or organization. Now, one last category for list growth is print materials. So I'd like for all of you to think about the different printed materials that your business or organization uses. Now, these are all places to provide the opportunity for your potential subscribers to sign up, and you want to make sure you're including all of the information they need to sign up on all of those different materials. So when I say print materials, that means signage at your location or at your events, on your business cards, and on any flyers, brochures, or direct mail pieces that you're sending out. One of the easiest ways to direct your customers to sign up from printed materials is creating a QR code from the lead generation landing page that I mentioned earlier. You can find a QR code generator online and use the link to your landing page to create that, or better yet, just find the QR code in your account. Now, if you use Constant Contact's SMS tool, we also have the text to join option. On your printed materials, you can direct your customers to text a phone number we provide you in order to capture both their email address and their phone number. Now, don't worry so much about reprinting your existing materials with this information. You can find a way to attach a small flyer or even use a sticky address label to add the QR code or text instructions onto your existing materials. So now we've covered the three buckets or categories of ways to grow your email list and the different ways within each to ask people to sign up. Remember, be sure to obtain each of your contacts' permission before mailing to them. You can save time and gain their permission easily by using the online tools and sign-up forms that I mentioned. So at this point, I want to switch gears. Let's go ahead and move on and talk about how you can entice customers and supporters to sign up to your business's email list. First, it's very important to understand that people won't sign up to just receive emails from you. So don't make it about them joining your list. Provide value. There are three main reasons people subscribe to an email list that do provide that value. That's to receive promotions and discounts, receive exclusive content, and show support because they want to stay in the know about what's happening with your business or organization so that they can make a purchase, volunteer, or maybe donate to your cause. Knowing why your contacts subscribe is important. That's what's going to help you create a strategy to use in all of the categories or channels where people to sign up that we talked about just a few minutes ago. Now, in order to entice people to sign up, you need to keep a few other things in mind as well. First, they're probably going to have some objections. So you need to remove the risks up front and make it super easy for them to complete the sign up process. There are a few concerns that a lot of people have, and ideally you want to address them up front. So they might be worried about how often you'll be sending, or they might be worried about their privacy, or even opting out. In order to curb the risks, be sure to set their expectations about what and how often you'll be sending when you ask them to sign up. Removing the risks and making sign up easy are important to keep in mind whether you're asking in person or using some sort of online sign up form. When you use Constant Contact sign up forms, they'll automatically address opt out concerns. You can also add in a link to your organization's privacy policy, which is required if you're sending to people in Europe. We have a handout in the control panel on the right with more information on privacy policies and when you all may need one. Feel free to go ahead and download that to your device if you're interested. Another rule is to make sure that the sign up process is super easy for everyone. So if you can do it, go ahead and just do it for them. They won't forget and you can collect their information as you're interacting with them. Also, make sure you're not collecting a ton of information. If you're collecting too much information, they may be a little leery. Plus, the more information you ask for, the less likely they are to complete the sign up process. Initially, you might just ask for their email address. If needed, choose one other piece of information to collect. In some cases, you might collect their first name or maybe even ask them what kind of content they want to receive. Keep in mind there are a variety of ways to learn about and collect information about your subscribers later on, but generally, it's best to keep the sign up process short and painless. Some other things you want to keep in mind when you're writing your text for your form or the script for asking in person is make it conversational. Act like you're talking directly to them. Also, make it about them. Help them to understand the value your emails provide and what's in it for them. These ground rules will help you to remove any risks and keep the process easy. Now, with all of these tips and best practices in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at a few industry-specific examples that you can implement. Think about changing some of the specifics out to make them work for your business or organization. As a retail business, you could offer some sort of discount or promotion to get them to sign up and make a purchase from you. Just put your attention getting offer in the title of your form. Now, here's a form from Southside Cycling. They're asking people to sign up to get 15% off their next purchase. The description lets subscribers know they'll receive exclusive access to discounts and resources in the future, and how often they'll be receiving emails. This is very important so that subscribers are reassured that you won't be emailing them every single day. Nobody likes to get emailed that often. Now, for those of you that are nonprofit organizations, you can ask people to show their support or help you make a difference. In this example, they're providing a valuable resource for new contacts to help both the contact and the organization accomplish their goals. Here's another example that offers some exclusive content, but this one's for B2B. This is a pop-up form from French Consulting. They're offering a free ebook entitled 10 Essential Steps to Growing Your Business on Social Media. The form also lets subscribers know that they'll receive future emails to help them market their business and that they'll receive no more than 3 emails each month. Now, these are just a few ideas to get you thinking about how you'll ask people to join your list and get them inspired about wanting to support your business. That's because you're showing them the value right up front. So at this point, you have some great ideas for where to ask people to sign up and how to ask them to sign up. So now I want to go ahead and switch gears. And I'm going to go into a live constant contact account so I can show you how to get started with the sign up tools. So give me just a second to get that pulled up. All right, and like I said, this is a live demo, so if any of you have questions throughout this portion, feel free to ask on the right side again under Q&A. And just a warning, some of you, if you've had an account for a long time, the home page may look a little different. The biggest difference is the menu is up here along the top, if you can see where my cursor is, instead of over here on the left. But you still have all of the same menu options, no matter which account you're in. Okay, but to start, I'm going to go ahead and click over here on audience growth. And then I am going to go to the growth center. Sorry, just making sure this all looks correct. I wanted to make sure I was on the right account. Sorry about that. So here on the left side, you'll see there's a few different options. One option we have that we aren't going to cover today is the lead magnet. This is a new tool that's in beta testing, and this is a great way for you to grow your email list and learn more about your followers on social media. Now, we're not going to go over this today, but if you'd like to try it out, we have an FAQ that you'll find in the handouts tab on the right. So feel free to look into that. But now to get started with the list growth tools that we'll go over today, let's go ahead and we've already clicked on Growth Center. On this page, you'll find your list growth option and be able to track your contact and social media growth, which is really nice. And then from here, when you scroll down, there's a sign up forms turn web traffic into emails. So we'll click on this, and this is where you'll see the different sign up form options right here. Now, the first one that we're going to take a look at is the pop-up form. So let's just say I want to set something up for a nonprofit animal shelter that will allow their supporters to sign up for their newsletter on the website. The first thing that we want to do is we want to give this a name. Anytime you create things in Constant Contact, you want to give it a name. So I'll click right up here, take this out, paste my name in. We're just going to call it pop-up form. And we'll just add today's date. Save it. So before I move any further, we just named this, but Laurel asked, where's the List Builder app? It's in your app store. You might not be able to find it on a phone, so you'd have to look at it on a tablet. Sharon just said lead magnet features. Like I said, we're not going to go over the lead magnet features today. That could take an hour to go over. There's just so many features. So if you have questions about it, feel free to look at the handout on the right side and go ahead and download that FAQ and you can look into it. We may be going over that in the future, but it's still in testing, so we don't want to cover it and it not work. But yes, it's like a landing page that you can share. That's kind of the simplest way to put it. All right. So we've already named this. Now, in order to update the content of the form, we'll click through the options over here on the left and fill in the information. The right over here is just a preview, so anything that I change over here will update to the right. So we'll go ahead and start with title, and we're going to change that to, instead of just sign up for updates, sign up for news and updates. So for the title, we want to add something that fits in one line if possible, catches their attention, and lets them know immediately what they're signing up for. And you'll want to avoid asking them to just join your mailing list and instead provide some type of value for signing up, like news and updates, new product updates, just something to catch their attention. With the title, you'll also be able to update the font color here. And you can select any of these colors, but I'll go ahead and go here and put in my exact color for my brand. And you'll see it updates the color. That's our title though, so we'll go ahead and go back. Next, we'll work on the description. Take out the default text and paste in this, and you'll notice everything I change here updates on the right. So this says sign up for our monthly newsletter and receive a free adoption guide. By signing up, you'll also receive updates and learn about our animals, events, and volunteer opportunities. So here we're letting them know exactly what they're signing up for and how often they'll receive emails, as well as giving them an incentive for signing up. So if you can offer something, absolutely do that. And just like with the title here, we can change this font color if you'd like. I'm just going to leave it the way it is, but feel free to change that if you want it to match your branding. And then I'll go ahead and go back. Next up, we have our contact fields. And oh, you're welcome, Sharon. Yes, definitely get that Q&A. Or I'm sorry, FAQ. Q&A FAQ. A lot of things are similar here. Okay, so back over here to contact fields. It already selects email address and it is required. We cannot uncheck that, but you can check other options here and make them required or not required. I'm just going to add first name. If you needed a field that's not listed here, you can create a custom field over here on the left. So you don't have to use these options. You could create more than that. But here, remember, you don't want to overwhelm them or cause hesitation by having them fill out too much information. So just add the information that you really need, and you could always collect additional information from them in the future. So we'll go ahead and go back again. Next up, we have email lists, and we're just making our way down. So here you'll choose the list for these contacts to be saved into. You check the box here, and as you can see, you can select multiple lists. Now, my advice with this is if you are selecting multiple lists, make sure the names are customer facing, because as you can see, they'll see exactly what the name is. So this example we have here, it could be adopt a pet would be animals, upcoming events, volunteer opportunities. Those would probably be the list names you want to go with. And if there's not a list that you need, you can create a list name here so you don't have to leave the page. And that's our list. So we'll go ahead and go back. Next up, we have our button here, which is the blue button down here. And we're going to change that. And instead of sign up, let's make it something that stands out a little bit more and put send me my guide. So you want your call to action to be clear and make it not so plain. Everyone uses sign up. So try to switch that up if you can. And make sure that you update this background color right here so that it matches your branding as well. We'll save that. Perfect. And you could change the text color if it was a darker color or a lighter color and you needed it even darker. Now we've made our way to background. So here's where I can change that white background color so that that matches my branding even more. There's the colors. Now in order to keep it easy to read, I'm not going to change that, but definitely change that if you need to for branding purposes. And next, let's go ahead and take a look at the settings tab. And there's going to be a few settings that can be updated here. So timing is the first option that comes up here. Here we can choose when the form pops up, and we can have it set to be on a timer anywhere from 1 to 15 seconds, or you can use exit intent. What that is if somebody moves their cursor like this to leave the page, the form will pop up automatically. You can use both or just one. I'm just going to leave it on a timer and set it to 15 seconds so my visitors have some time to look at the page before this pops up in front of them. Right below that, we can set up how frequently the form pops up. So you can limit the form to pop up once per 30 minutes, all the way up to one time only. Now, whenever you set this, you want to think about how often people are visiting your website. If they're visiting it pretty regularly, once per 30 minutes is a lot. I'm just going to stick with what it has here, which is once per day, just in case they close out of it and they come back a couple days later and they decide they'd like to take advantage of the offer. And that's our timing. Right below that, we have devices. Now, this will limit where the form pops up if you change this. It could pop up on desktops only or mobile only. I would recommend just leaving it the way it is, but again, that is a preference of yours. And right here we have constant contact branding. So if you check this box, it removes that constant contact logo from the bottom. This again is a preference. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And that is it. So now that I have all of that set up, I'm going to go ahead and click on Publish in the top right corner. And now that the form is published, the next step would be to add it to your website. So there is some code right up here that is provided so that you can add that to your website. So if you click on this, you'll see that code. So every website provider is going to be a little bit different. And if you're looking for assistance with adding the code, there is a quick install guide right here when you click on Universal Code. We'll also email that resource to you as well. We don't have steps for every website provider, but we have quite a few. And I can just give you a quick look at that. So here are some of the ones we do have, some of the bigger names. And if we can't, or if you can't put code into your website, we'll let you know here. Like GoDaddy is a pretty common one. You can't put a code. But yeah, so feel free to look at that if you need help installing that on your website, or reach out to whoever manages your site if you have a web developer. And that is it for the pop-up form. So the next sign up form option I'd like to show you is the landing page. So we're going to click on this create a sign up form button in the top right. And this takes me back to all of the other options that we have. And I'll find the sign up landing page right here. Now this landing page sign up form helps you capture new contacts on loan through a standalone web page. And this is a great option for getting signups from social media, or if you're not able to add the code to your website, or maybe if you just want to put it on any other online platforms that your business uses. Just feel free to share this link. Setting up this form is actually going to be more similar to creating an email in Constant Contact. So you'll notice all of the editing options on the left. And I'm going to create this one for Fitness Studio, so something a little bit different. Just like with the pop-up form, I'm going to click up right here and give it a name. That way there's no confusion when I call or when I log in. And if I were to ever call support, I can give them the exact name. So just call that sign up form with today's date. Perfect. And you'll notice on the left side, I have options for build images and design. Under build, this allows me to click in and drag different blocks to build out the form and customize it if I'd like. And I can also edit the individual blocks on the form itself as well. As you can see, everything has blue around it and I can click to edit it. But to start, we're going to first put our logo up here in this image placeholder block. I'm going to click on images over here on the left. And I'm going to find my logo somewhere in here. All the way down here. So I'll just drag that over and drop it right on top of that. And there's our logo. Make it a little bit bigger. Now, just like we did with the pop-up form, we do want to start with a headline, and we want it to be something short and catchy that will preview what they're signing up for and show the value of that. And in order to add that, I'm going to use this first block here that says sign up to stay in touch. So I just click in there and we will take that text out and we'll put in sign up to receive updates and promotions. Now below that in the next text box, I'm going to add text previewing what they'll receive for signing up and how often they'll be receiving emails from us. So I'll just take that text out and replace it with this. Be the first to know about new classes and promotions and receive valuable health tips. Sign up for our newsletter and we'll keep you in the know and send you a free nutrition guide. Perfect. And Mike asked, where's the text coming from? I get that question a lot. So I just copy and paste it in because if I had to type in all of the information, we would be here for longer than an hour. And I think an hour is long enough to keep you all here and teach you things, or it's just too much information. But yes, you can just click and type. So if you need to, you're more than welcome to do that. Perfect. So next we'll need to edit the fields on the sign up form. So as you can see, it's included first name, last name, email address. And if you'd like to add anything additional, there's going to be two ways to do it. So first you need to click on this. And one way to add new field is to click on the drop-down box up here at the top where it has add a field. And let's say I want to add the SMS marketing opt-in. Now this SMS field will only show up if I've added on the SMS texting feature and registered for the service, the SMS service. So I would highly recommend using this field to build your SMS text list because this is going to give you the required permission to start sending them text messages. Now with this field added, you want to make sure to confirm the settings. Click on the field and here settings are right up here. And here you can add or update your SMS terms and conditions and privacy policy if you need to. And if you need more information on terms of service and privacy policies required for SMS, check out the links that we have in the handout. There's a lot of resources in that handout. As you can see, I've told you about it a couple times now. Now you'll also notice this disclaimer right here below the SMS field with the required verbiage for SMS subscriptions. When someone subscribes with their number, they are going to receive a text message asking them to confirm their subscription. And once they confirm they will want to subscribe, you'll be able to start sending SMS texts. If you are interested in SMS at all, we have another webinar called SMS or Getting Started with Text SMS Marketing and Constant Contact. And I'm going to be sharing a link to our webinar page a little bit later in the session, so you can keep an eye out for that one and feel free to sign up if you'd like. And that is that. Now, the other way to add a field is if you go over here to the left, you can drag in a field. Like let's say I want to add birthday, you drag it and drop it under the phone number, and there it is. So the nice thing about dragging things in from the left is it gives you freedom on where you can put them. If you use the drop down from the top, it's just going to put it right to the bottom. So depending where you want things to go, you might need to use the left. But once you add a field, whether it's from the top or bottom, you can click on the field and you can make it required or delete it or just click done so you can continue editing the form. And if it is required, you'll notice email and mobile number will be required if they check that box. Those are required and that's what it'll look like. And if you need to create a custom field, you have the option over here on the left, or again up here in this dropdown. So you can still create more fields if you need to. Now, also over here on the left is where I'm able to select the list that I want the contacts to go into. So you click the drop down, and I'm just going to call this list Free Nutrition Guide. Oh, Free Nutrition Guide. And then I'll click Create, and you'll see it added that list there. So with this, you can only select one list. It's not like the pop-up form, you can select multiple lists, so make sure that these go into whatever list you want them to go into. Perfect, and that is it. So we've edited the form. I seen a question come through. Can we change the colors of the form? Yeah, I'll get to that in just a second. No worries. You definitely can. This, believe me, you don't want to leave it like this. So yeah, we give you those options. No problem. And Alice asked, can we have more than one landing page since it can only be connected to one list? Yes, absolutely. You can make different lists with different offers or depending on what your needs are. But yeah, absolutely. Feel free to create additional lists. Great. So now that I'm done with the form itself, I'm also able to edit the content for the thank you page right up here. So when a customer signs up, they're taken to this thank you page, and you want to make sure that you edit the text on this. If not, it's going to look exactly like this with this image placeholder and some default text. So just like with the other page, I want to find my logo, just so it has some branding. Drop it right there, and we'll change the text on here as well. So in that first text box, you just click into it, backspace. We'll say we're glad we can keep in touch. And since we moved that up to the first box, click in this text box, put in what you want it to say. This says, here's your free downloadable nutrition guide. So the really nice thing about the landing page is that if you ever offer some kind of document, you can attach it to this page. So you'll go over here to build, scroll back up to the top. Here we have a button that you can drag in, drop it right under that your free downloadable nutrition guide. And then once the button's in here, you click on it. And then over here on the left is where you can link it to a document. So here's our fitness guide. It also lets you change what the button says. Anybody that's used the email editor will know you can change what this says. So we're going to change it to get me my guide. Make sure the file's uploaded. If it's not, click upload, but then we'll click insert. And that's the thank you page. Sharon asks, can you add a second or third image? Yeah, here, let me just show you. So if you wanted to add another picture, you could just drag in another image block and put that one in here. It's not the best picture, but yeah, you absolutely can. Or you could just drag the picture from here and bring it in. So yep, just like with the email, you can add different elements to it. But that's perfect. So now that we have the content set up, let's go ahead and take a look at the design options on the left. This is where I believe where'd the name go? Micah asked if we could change the way it looks. Yes, this is where you can do it. So you have your backgrounds and borders here, your fonts and your buttons. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through and update every single option because, for example, if you click on text, there's a lot to update, so it'll take us some time. But let me go to backgrounds and borders, and I'll change this outer background here just to give you an idea of how it works. We'll go there. And that's quite a big change, so you can see how that looks. So like I said, I won't go through everything, but I would highly recommend going through and updating all of these colors so that it is specific to your brand and your colors. You don't want to leave it plain or else it just doesn't look very good. But yep, that is how you change the colors. Told you I'd get to it right away. All right, so the last couple of things we need to set up are under the settings. I'm going to go ahead and click continue in the top right corner to make some updates there. And now over here on the left, we have a preview of what the form looks like. And then we have our page settings here. So the first thing we see here is our page title. So this is what shows up as the title of the page. So that tab that pops up in your browser, this is where that pulls from. So I'm just going to leave it as sign up to stay in touch. Feel free to change that if you'd like. And right below that, we have description. So here you can add a description for the form. And this is what shows up on some social media networks. So I don't know if you've ever noticed on Facebook, you're scrolling and you see something you can click on and it has a little bit of text on it previewing what the link is. That's what this would be. So since this should go on social media, we're going to put a description that says, sign up for our newsletter and we'll keep you in the know and send a free nutrition guide. So they get a little peek at it. And right below that, we have customized URL. So once the landing page is published, I'm going to get a URL that I can share. And here I'm able to customize the very end of the URL to add some branding to make it unique to my business. You don't have to do this, but branding is always really important in marketing, so I would recommend doing it. I'm just going to put Jack's Fitness Club. And since it is a URL, remember not to put any spaces or it won't work. But you could capitalize the first letter of every word, and that works just as good. And that is it. We are done. So I'll go ahead and click continue again up here in the top right corner and click activate. All right, awesome. So now that this is published, we have a link right here that you can share online. This is the link I was talking about earlier that you can use to generate a QR code. This is also something that you can put in the signature of your personal emails or just really anywhere else you have an online presence. And if you would like to share this link, you can click on this blue share button and it gives you all of our share options on a social post, share in an email, share with an ad, copy link, or we have our QR code option here. This is fairly new, so not a lot of people know about it. But if you click on this, it automatically generates the QR code. You can download it to your device or save it to your library. Another popular one we have while we're at it is sharing it on social media. So if you'd like to share this there, you can do it directly from your account. So when you click on this, it's going to bring up a screen here. Here you can connect your social profiles, add your link in the caption, add pictures. So you can do a lot with this. And this is nice because then I don't have to copy and paste a link and go to each of these accounts separately. I can just do it all right here in the Constant Contact account. Now, if you do want to learn more about our social media posting features, you can check out our webinar called How to Connect and Manage Your Social Media in Constant Contact. That's also on the webinar events page that I mentioned earlier that I'll be sharing here in a little bit. Perfect. So let me go back over here to our growth center. Just leave this page. And question from Laurel, does the thank you page come up to those who entered their info on a laptop at an event? Yes, if you have the landing page pulled up on a laptop or any device, it will automatically take the person to that page. Then you have to close out of it and open a new one. So what I would recommend doing for you, Laurel, is if you have a tablet that you can use at an event, download the app I mentioned earlier, the List Builder app, and that will help or make it a little easier. So you can look into that or just know as soon as someone signs up, you just open a new window with this. But yeah, it does automatically do that. Now, the final list growth option I'd like to show you is our text to join tool. So if any of you use Constant Contact's SMS marketing service, this is another great list growth option that will allow you to easily grow both your email and your text list at the same time. Now, this option is going to be super easy to set up. All you have to do is select the list you want your contacts to go into and then activate it. And we've taken care of the welcome message and the automated responses for yes and no replies to your welcome message for you. So if you do have SMS added and you'd like to create that, I'm back here under the Growth Center and sign up forms. You click on this. Actually, let's just go to sign up forms over here. Back to where we were before. So we'll click on this blue create a sign up form button, and you'll see text to join right here. So like I said, all you have to do is select the list you want your contacts to go into. Here is a drop down. We want these to go into our Jack's Backyard Barbecue contacts, since this is from Jack's Backyard Barbecue, and that's it. So as you can see, everything else is good to go, and all of the other messaging is set up and non-editable, so we can't click on any of that. Now, once this is enabled, you're provided with a unique phone number that your prospects will use to opt into your email and SMS list, and that's listed right here. They'll just simply text the word join with their email address and send it to this specific phone number here, and then they'll receive the welcome message. From there, they need to confirm that they want to be subscribed by replying with the word yes, and then they'll be ready for you to email and text. Their email address they typed in will be added to your list, and the system will capture their phone number automatically and save that to the list as well. If they reply no, then they won't be opted in, but they'll show up in a no permission set status in your contacts. And if they just don't reply at all, they'll be put into an awaiting confirmation status. So with this, make sure that you share the opt-in instructions with your customers to start growing your list through this tool. And this is an especially effective method for printed materials or in-person events. You can just put your instructions on a sign, business card, flyer, or really any other printed marketing materials you have to start growing your list even further. Pretty simple one there. I'll go ahead and close out of that. And while I was going through that, a couple questions came in. Let's see. Sharon asked, how can we add a social media helper to our constant contact account so they can do some of this marketing for us? So we do have something called our marketing manager service if you want someone to create content and post on social media for you. The price for that varies. I can show you here in just a minute. I just have one more thing to go over, but I can show you where to find the different services we offer. And Bob, yes, you will receive a recording. If you miss the first few minutes, that's completely fine. Whatever email address you registered with for the webinar, everybody automatically gets a recording, whether they're here or not. So no worries. We already do that for you. Okay, before I get to Sharon's question and before we wrap up the demo, I do want to point out a few more options on the sign up forms page. So when you click on this create a sign up form option here, we have these 4 at the top. So all 4 of these, the setup's going to be very similar to that pop-up form that we set up, so we just don't need to go through the editing again and again. But they're all very similar. The only difference is the placement on the website. So the flyout form slides onto your website from the top, bottom, or side. A banner will be added to the top or bottom of any page on your website. And the inline form allows you to embed the form on your website wherever you're able to embed the HTML code. And that was the last thing I wanted to show you today. So let me go ahead and close out of this. And in the bottom left corner, if your account looks like this, or it would be the top right if you have the blue bar at the top, but you'll click there and go to your account settings. From here, we have an add-ons page. So if you're looking for marketing help, we have marketing services. They start at $60 a month, $249 or $535. Biggest differences here is marketing advisors, what I do, just advice. I don't do anything. Give you some guidance, make sure you're getting good results, give you feedback on what you're doing, those kinds of things. Marketing specialists, they still give you some advice, but you provide content that you want them to put together and they create it for you and execute all of the work for you. You just provide the content. And then one step higher than that is the manager. They take over the marketing. They can create emails, they can create social posts, those kinds of things in constant contact. As long as it can be done in the account, they can create the content for you. So if you're interested in any of these, if you come to this page, you can click Get Started. Awesome. And let me pull my slides back up now. Now let's go ahead and recap a few things. So the first thing to remember is to just ask. Remember those 3 categories or areas where you want to be asking people to sign up, even if it's through a form. There's in-person interactions in your print materials as well as online, and those are just the main buckets. There are tons of opportunities within each of those to ask or implement a sign-up form or instructions. The next is to remember to entice your audience to sign up. Don't just simply ask them to join your mailing list. Let them know the value you provide and that you'll be helping to provide a solution to whatever problem your products or services solve. And don't forget, you could entice them to sign up with a bonus or promotion. Now, if there's one thing that you do after today, make sure you add a pop up form to your website. Many people will find your business through a search or look you up after speaking with a friend or family member. With that, you'll be able to catch their attention to entice them to sign up before they even leave your website. And after that, consider all of the other ways I shared for you to grow your list. And I know I just talked about this, but don't forget we are here to help. So, whether you need help putting together your marketing plan with an expert, coming up with the content, list growth strategies, or if you just need someone to do the work for you, we have marketing services that can be personalized to fit your needs and goals. Your dedicated marketing expert will make it easy for you throughout the account setup process and beyond as they work with you to strategize, develop, and implement a successful marketing plan. Rates for that, like I just showed you, do start as low as $60 per month. So go ahead and take a look at the pop up in the bottom left of your screen or on the right at the top of the chat for a link. And on that page, you can find information on each of the levels of service and schedule a free service consultation to determine which level of service is right for you. And now we're going to go into questions. I see Sharon had another question. Be right to that in just a second. But please keep in mind there's quite a few people joining us today, and I'm going to try my best to answer all of your questions. And if I'm not able to answer anything, keep in mind there are a lot of resources to help that I'll talk about here in just a couple of minutes. And while everyone gets the rest of those questions in there, I do want to let you know about our upcoming webinar called How to Segment Your Email List and Constant Contact. This session is a great next step in helping you learn strategies for segmenting and list management. Once your list starts to grow, it's very important to segment right away, and this session will give you the tips and tricks on how to best do so. So I'm going to replace that pop-up. Hopefully nobody needs it now. But go ahead and click on the pop-up in the bottom left or at the top of chat to find more our full webinar schedule. You can find a session that works for you. And if you're not able to attend, feel free to sign up anyways for a free recording. And you'll also find the social media and SMS webinars that I mentioned on that page earlier. Awesome. All right. And Sharon, thank you for clarifying your question. So I'll go back to this now. She said, so we can't add our own helper. You can add people to your account, but depending on the level of service you have, there may be limits to how many people you can add. So let me close out of this here. If you go up here to your bottom left corner and you go to your plans and pricing, it should tell you how many users you can have. But here under the account settings page, whether you click in the top right or here, you have a manage users tab and you can add new users here. And depending what you want them to do, there's two different levels. So an account manager can create and edit lists and campaigns. They can schedule and publish, but they can't make purchases or billing related changes. So if you hire somebody to help you and you want them to handle it in the account, you can set them up as an account manager. And there's also a campaign creator. They can create and edit campaigns, but they cannot schedule, publish, or change anything in the account, including contact lists, anything. So they could create it, then you'd log in yourself and make sure that everything goes out. But yes, you can add users to the account. Depending which plan you're on, it's anywhere from 1 to 10 users. And Laurel asked, is there a way to import a large list of emails into a list only if they're not already in our contact list? So yes and no. I mean, the best way to answer that, and hopefully this makes sense to you, is when you add contacts to Constant Contact, you can put them into a brand new list or into an existing list. And if people on that list that you're uploading are already in your account, it won't duplicate them. So yes, it can add the new people, But if you're creating a brand new list, then the people that were already on another list would be on that list as well. So it gets a little confusing there. But yes, you can upload contacts and it only adds the new people. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Lots of questions. Micah asks, how can we get back to the landing page link? So right over here on the left, if you go to your sign up forms, or at the top, it would be under sign up forms still. Here you'll see everything that you've ever created, which is nice. And here's that one we did today. We'll click on details. And here is that link. So yep, you can always get back to it, and you still have all of your share options here on this page as well. Great. Don't see another question yet. So since we still have a couple minutes left, I want to make sure you all have the resources that you might need as you're getting started with Constant Contact or as you're starting to get more comfortable with using it. And if you have a last minute question, feel free to type it in as I show you these resources. But if you have any questions about the topics we've discussed in today's session, or if you want further guidance as you're getting started, we have so many resources here to help you, so no worries. You'll see a link here on the screen. I'm going to include that in the follow-up email along with the handout and the recording. You can check out our new customer hub at constantcontact.com/get-started to find quick video tutorials, on-demand courses, more live webinars, and a link to our Ask a Trainer drop-in sessions for instant answers and guidance. And you can also access the help link at the top right of your account to find even more resources such as our full knowledge base of FAQs, guides, more tutorials, and you can even find information to contact our support team that's here Monday through Saturday. And if you see on my screen, it's that circle with the question mark. You'll see a question mark in the top right as well, similar to that. And I have one request from all of you while I still have some of you here. We would really love to get your feedback. So when you close out of the webinar today, you're going to see a quick little survey, just a couple questions. If you could just take a minute or two of your time to share your feedback with us, we would greatly appreciate that. Awesome. We have a couple minutes left. I'll see if any last minute questions come in. Two questions came in. Okay. Real quick. So Laurel said, I want to import Google contacts from our board members into an invite list to invite them to join, but I want to exclude those who are already in our contacts. Is that possible? So what I would recommend doing, Laurel, this is a couple steps and you might want to contact support about this, is upload those people into an invite list and then go to, this is where it gets kind of hard. I would just contact support because there are ways to remove people from a list if they're on other lists. But yeah, I would have to see the whole account. Sorry. That's more of a support question since they can get on your screen with you. Yeah, reach out to them. There is a way to remove people from lists, but it depends how many lists you have. And that could make it a little bit more hard. And I think this will be the last question from Bob. Is the first goal to get them signed up instead of giving them info, which is very vast? Don't know where to start. So I would recommend offering something that they might be interested in to get them to sign up. Then from there, you have their information. So whether you get in contact with them or not, you can at least stay in front of them in their inbox. And that would be a great time to use the landing page, Bob, because what you can do is offer a file of some sort. They can click on the download button once they fill it out to immediately get what they're looking for, or you can set up automation with the content they need. And we have a webinar about that as well. You'll find that in the follow-up email on the webinar page. But those will have to be the last two questions today. We are right at time, so I want to respect everyone's time and let you all go. I hope you all have a great rest of your day today. It was a lot of fun. You asked some great questions, and thank you so much for joining our webinar and choosing Constant Contact. Bye, everyone.